live. All
Roll.
right. Hello, Interworld. Hopefully we are live and direct. I am checking out our stream on another device just to make sure that we're actually live and direct. All right, let's see here. Go to our stream and
Oops.
Hello. Can barely hear you. All right, let's see here. Open my live stream. There you go.
Can you guys hear me?
Yes.
Yep,
Yes.
sure can. And yes, we are live. We are on the stream. They can't see you guys. You're a little low on the live stream. Let me see if I can fix that positioning for us.
Just an army of foreheads.
We are an army of foreheads. Yes. All right, let's see if I do that.
Oh, there we go. I see us now.
You would think, right? Okay. Let's see here. It is cat. Go to live. See if that made a difference. I'm still seeing just like the foreheads on mine. You guys are seeing it on the live stream with our heads a little better.
Still foreheads, yeah.
Okay. Let's try scale it to window. And one. All right. Let's see if I can move this up a little here. Don't know why it doesn't. There. Okay. All right. That is hurting. Okay. I see the window. We're still cut off. You know, you would think scale to window would actually scale it to the window. Hey, Andrew, welcome. Glad to see you in the chat, my friend. Let's see if we do canvas. Okay, I saw it move, so that's a good sign. We've got a little lag, but not terrible. We've had worse. All right, so I can see the good news. It's good news, bad news. I can now see in the screen.
I can see some of us, no foreheads. There we go,
Yep.
a little bit better.
I can see me.
Oh, there it is. Oh, geez.
Yeah, but I'm seeing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we're cutting off a few of us. Yeah, so I can move that around, but for some reason so there's got to be a way to resize this.
I guess that'll be the name of our group, the Foreheads.
Yes. Welcome. Welcome for the cause of charity. Let's see. Canvas, this looks like the biggest. Why won't it left-right scale? Is the thing I'm trying to figure out. Just, it will not make this smaller, so let me see if there's something I can do on the other end. Let's see here. If I make this, do that. Maybe full screen. All right, I put that on full screen, but then I've got to get back. That is not gonna work. These are the joys of live streaming, folks. I will tell you know what? We'll just let's see. That goes there. We get Brandon in. I would be okay cutting myself off, but I do feel bad for. Oh, there we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Who are we missing? No, we got everyone.
You.
We got everyone. We're missing me. No one needs.
I don't see you.
No one needs to see me. They've come for the best. All right. You know what? We are live and direct, and I think ready to rock and roll. So welcome to our latest installment of RPGs versus AD, the Alzheimer's Association fundraising event for the longest day, with a number of great role-playing game personalities participating, both at their home games and here on YouTube. And for today's session, we have the honor of the cast of Bardic Aggravation, along with Wargaszm and Aegis Virium, joining us for this special session using my in development light RPG system, Clever Cool Crazy. And we're going to go ahead and start with intros. And I'll call out to you guys to intro yourself and maybe tell us a little bit about your character. And Wheeler, you first.
All right. Hi, I'm Wheeler, also known as Kent, or Guy Number 3, as Wargaszm is dubbed. I have some kind of thing I got from Brandon last time I was over my house, so my voice is a little abnormal. This isn't an affectation. It's not my character voice. It's just life.
Oh, it totally.
So yeah. Character stuff too. We're doing.
Yeah.
All right. So my character is it's just a loose concept because we're going to see what happens during the game. But his name is Gunga La Gunga. Points for anybody that gets that reference. I thought Wargaszm would have. No. All right, he's a mountain troll. He's got he's big, almost 7 feet maybe, and he's got like little rocks and moss growing on his body. Big beard, bushy beard. He would be, I guess, a druid who can just manipulate rocks and earth, and that's it. There's no wild shaping. There's none of that stuff going on. So he's like a shaman, but he's not the shaman of his tribe because they could all do the exact same stuff. But you guys would probably consider him a shaman. And yeah, I think that's it for now, right?
Mm-hmm. So they can see his hairy belly on the screen, but not its full glorious picture. Let me see if I can. I don't know if I can move that down a little for us. Let's see here. There we go. It'll be a lag, but there is, for the studio audience, Gunga La Gunga, which is a great name. In the chat, for any of you who are aware, feel free to pop in there if you get the reference. And there you go. They should be able to see that now. And I'll get that off for us. Okay, got to go to the other. Get that off the screen. And next up on my hit parade is Maruza.
Rick, that's me. Hey. Well, thanks for having us, Glenn. I appreciate it. It's fun to do a live stream. Never done one of these before, so this is pretty exciting. My character is named Marquise. He goes by Kaleidoscope. He is a fiend-born, a gambler, and a swindler is his nature, and rogue is his game.
Very good. I don't know that I have the art for yours. Is it what's in it? But it's your character avatar there. I see it.
Yes. I did put it in our little chat too. About 10 minutes ago.
That one, but if you, what I will do is, for our studio audience at home, I will move this a little bit up for us, or attempt to. Okay, it really hates me.
So is the Lagunga reference a Bill Murray reference?
Yeah, go exactly.
All right, it took me a while. Dalai Lama, right?
Yes.
Oh,
Okay.
yeah.
Okay.
Oh my gosh, that was great. Little trivia fact: I grew up near the country club where they filmed that movie.
Really?
Yep.
Bushwood.
Yep. Not called Bushwood. It's in Davie, Florida.
Very cool.
Yep. It was very cool. Now, okay. Yep. I am just trying to get our window capture to move a little bit. You know what? I wonder if I do this on this screen. See if that makes any difference for the viewing audience at home. But while I keep trying to work our AV, Wargaszm, if you'd like to introduce your character next.
All right. Hi, I'm Wargaszm, and my character is a halfling monk, and his name is Skeeter McGee. His friends call him Jules, though he has no idea why. They all laugh when they say it. He has a piece of straw kind of hanging out of his mouth, and he tucks his thumbs up under the lapels of his robe, kind of like you would with overalls. And you notice about him that he's from the Get Her Done Monastery. So they like to get her done. And the thing about him that is very unusual looking is he's incredibly dirty, like filthy dirty, with unkempt hair, like he's never combed his hair, big chopped sideburns, overly hairy halfling feet. I don't look like this troll, but not too far off. Filthy robe, but his hands and his feet are filthy, dirty brown with dirty toenails and dirty fingernails and smudges all over his face. His eyes are red, like he's super high, and they're kind of pinkish red. And the last thing is, you notice, and this is rather unsettling, his teeth are perfectly white, which is a little unusual. But he talks with a southern drawl and introduces himself like, "Hi, I'm Skeeter McGee, and I'm from the Get Her Done Monastery," and that's him. He's about 4 feet tall.
All right, all right.
Cute.
That is cool. And I'm making some weird progress in some weird ways with our window here. Let's see here. There we go.
We all look like the troll.
Yes, it is the entire party of trolls. You're all being trolled.
It's one of my powers.
Here. Shift Z. There you go. Get her done.
Get her done.
That is
So cute.
Oh my god. That is the best halfling I've ever seen, I tell you. And I've seen a lot of halflings in my day. All right.
Oh, cuddly.
Yep. So next up, Aegis Virium.
So I'm playing Callum, who is a halfling or a half elf. Sorry, I was looking at a giant halfling and it just popped into my head. A half elf cleric of light. He is a very reluctant adventurer. He'd much rather be sitting in a cloister with his scrolls and books, but he keeps getting sent out into the world because he's actually quite good at bringing light to his lord's enemies.
As one does.
As much as he as one does, as much as he detests doing it, he's extremely good at it.
All right. And I will get that picture up shortly. Okay. That is not what I want. That's the other window. Got too many windows and not enough screens. That's my problem. There we go. Getting you guys more. We were doing better. Let me get rid of this here. Let me get to. This is why I didn't want my screen showing as much. Anyway, but why don't we go ahead and last but not least, Brandon. I love the hat, by the way. The hat is the best. And luckily, even with foreheads, you guys can see the hat.
Thank you. My name is Brandon. This hat's been with me, and it is very important to me. But I am playing Raquel Domingo, Kobold Wizard. He's kind of very mad scientisty. He's kind of lost in his thoughts all the time. Can never remember. He's got short-term memory loss. He can never remember where he last put his pencil, where he sat down his lab notebook. He doesn't remember like very short things. But he's always super energetic, and he's all over the place all the time. He's like he's 3'6.5".
Half?
Half, yeah. If you ask him, he would say he's 3'7", but he's really 3'6.5". He's got kind of like mangy white hair, really stark orange red eyes. It's like a cat eye almost, and really long, translucent ears. And every so often, you see a little bit of snot running down from his nose.
Which is adorable if I could only figure out how to get it to show. All right, all right. So there you go, guys. That is our cast of characters, and we are going to be using, as mentioned, our clever, cool, crazy light RPG system. And basically, it's we're going to be playing as low-level versions of these characters. So you all will be essentially starting out, I would say if this were a game known as like Dungeons and Dragons or something like that, it would be about you know, somewhere around second level, let's say, just to give you an idea, or DC 20 for that matter. Let's see here if I get this. I gotta get rid of our wonderful folks here. Get that over there and see if I can't get this window capture a little better for us. See, it just really does not want to give us the full screen for some reason, and I cannot figure out for the life of me why. But let me see here. I'm going to do one more attempt at fixing the screen. While I do, you all have gathered here at the stronghold of the Mycoans, a fairly peaceful people, but they've been plagued recently by incursions of wild animals and other more unsavory creatures. And you all are meeting here as a adventuring party with some experience, but not that much experience dealing with such threats. So why don't you guys go ahead and kind of describe how it is that you come to meet up with each other and what you do when you meet each other for the first time.
Well, I suppose on one of my lovely nature walks, I stumbled upon this large creature, and I was looking down at my feet, thinking about how one would go unnoticed. And next thing I know, my face went right into the belly of this monstrous beast. I looked up and I said, hello there. I'm Raquel. How are you?
And go ahead and reply.
Re-referencing me?
Yes, sorry.
I thought that was pretty apparent.
I don't ever assume with Brandon. You'll see. Oh, hi there. What did you say your name was?
And I take a couple steps back. Your voice doesn't compute with me. My name is Raquel, and I kind of poke him in the belly a little bit.
Why are you poking me in the belly?
Because I wasn't sure if you were evil or not, and I don't know. And I step back with my staff, and I like poke him a little bit. Get back, you beast!
Well, you look pretty evil yourself. Look at yourself. You're creepy. I would have attacked you, but you're so small. I didn't want to, kill you.
I'm not small. You're
what are you, 3'6.5"?
3'7". I'm 3'7", and I slam my staff down, and you kind of see it kind of glow a little bit as I slam it down.
Oh, magic! That's pretty. Listen, I was gonna eat you, but you're so small. I might as well just wait. I'm doing fasting right now. I just came down here because I lost my tribe, and I'm looking for a new tribe, and it don't have to be trolls, because I might be the last one that I'm aware of. But you might do. Would you like to be part of my tribe?
I lean down and semi-ignore you, but I start picking at your toe jam.
Oh, well, what are you doing down there?
This is lovely. And I have like a little vial I scrape it into, and I stopper it, and I put it. I can use that.
But then you have to pay for it, don't you? You can't just take my stuff for free.
Well,
give me something.
I don't. What are you talking about? Why am I giving you anything?
It took me a long time to grow that toe stuff.
What toe stuff?
The stuff you just took off my toe.
I didn't take anything from you.
I just saw you do it.
No, you didn't.
Right. So I gotta ask, are you trying to gaslight him?
Yes.
All right. This is awesome. Which, by the way, is an actual mechanic in Clever Cool Crazy. So,
Nice.
the first off, just to share with you, because we're starting so low level, I decided you each would only have 1 point of effort, which is like the meta currency for this game. You know, it can serve as sort of a hit point buffer / effort to expend for magic and other activities. You only had one, but because that scene was just so awesome, you all have now been earned by your colleagues. Everyone gets an additional point of effort. So you are now up to 2 points of effort. You may put those down total. But the interesting thing is, I do indeed think we're seeing an example of player versus player, or shall we say protagonist versus protagonist, pros for short, action here. So clearly, and is it Recall? I'm trying to remember your character's name.
Raquel.
Raytan. Clearly, you are trying to gaslight our Gunga Legunga character here. So let me ask you, what is it about you, about your character, as a protagonist that you feel would allow you to get away with this audacious activity?
So just like any other gaslighter out there, they don't believe they're gaslighting. He has short-term memory loss.
Okay.
So he himself doesn't remember that he just did that.
All right.
So he's going to argue the fact that he didn't because he doesn't remember he did it.
Very good. Now, which of your features do you think reflects that short-term memory loss?
I refresh me on features.
Yep, sure thing. So, basically, features are the stats of your character or protagonist. You have your name, which actually serves as a stat, a feature. That's your first feature, your name. Your It's sort of your reputation, your personal details. Then your second feature in most times playing Clever Cool Crazy would be your nature, basically your ancestry in most fantasy games, like, being a kobold, for example. Your third feature would be your nurture, your background or origin, your culture, your family in some cases. And last but not least, in most time, would be your nourishment, which could be in a fantasy medieval like DC 20 / D&D type adventure, your class, could be your profession or things like that. Are any of those features of yours, you think, relevant to being forgetful, or do you think this is more a condition that more often than not hurts you rather than helps you? Your inability to remember things.
I think it's one of two things. Firstly, I think it's my ancestry because as a kobold, we usually live in close-knit communities. It's like pact mentality. Without the pact, he's lost, right? So he's got like this short-term memory loss. He doesn't have somebody to constantly remind him where things are, what things are happening. In addition to that, I believe also that hurts him more than it helps him in the long run. That's why he's kind of an outcast.
Yep, I would agree with that. So, being without your kobold companions, or having short-term memory loss?
Being without the kobold companions, that would give him the short-term memory loss. Nobody's there to constantly remind him.
All right. I think the best way to reflect this in your character, and the game is simple enough we can actually develop your characters on the fly here. I think this represents a condition, not a feature. So
Okay.
Conditions are things that usually work against you, but in rare instances can work for you. And you've made already a compelling argument how this is going to work for you. So it's actually going to be in your favor. But you can put down forgetful without my pack as a condition 1.
Okay.
Okay, just write that down. Usually that's going to work against you. In this particular instance, I think you made a great enough story that's going to work for you. So I think, you are trying to convince him that you don't know anything about this, because you literally don't know anything about this. I think this does touch upon primarily you. This is really about you, Raquel. I think that's about who you are. So it's going to be your name. Would you say your name and reputation is more important to you than other features, or do you think that's less important to you?
I would say it's less important. The Domingo name is important, but it's not in the grand scheme of things. It's not like it doesn't carry that much weight.
Then I would probably put a 1 next to your name. It's just a rank of 1, if you will. And
Okay.
But it sounds like your kobold heritage is very important to you.
Correct.
I would probably put a 2 next to that. You're one
Okay.
kobold. Unfortunately, you're a kobold without a pack. And so let's see here. And what is your nourishment? Your class, if you will?
I'm a wizard.
Okay, you are a wizard, but I think it has nothing to do with what you're trying to pull off here on him.
No.
Would you say, though, would you say you're a better wizard than you are? Are you as good a wizard as you are a kobold?
Yes.
All right, so I would put a 2 there. And
Okay.
let me ask you, so who were you raised? So are you a kobold who was raised in a particular kobold society or group?
No. Cast off. Went off on my own.
All right. I'm gonna say for your nurture, your background, I would say kobold outcast and put a 1 by that.
Okay.
No, congratulations. You basically made a character. Now, I will add one little fact. You chose a condition, and because I did not require a condition for character creation for this game, you can get 1 additional feature if you would like. That
Okay.
is your choice. You do not have to choose that now, though. Do you want to choose that now, or do you want to hold on to it and reveal it later?
Let's hold on to it, Glenn.
Yeah, I call that my "oh, by the way" mechanic. All right, so a lot of explanation, but this will help us as we play the game. So what I'm hearing is, Rachel, you are basically convinced yourself that nothing actually happened with you, like collecting toe jam. So this is definitely going to really be about you, Rachel, about being a kobold. So I would say you'd use your kobold as your base, so 2, and you get an additional point for invoking your name and who you are. So that's going to be 3 already, and you haven't rolled yet. In this rare instance, your condition's going to help you rather than hurt you. So that's going to be 4. I think the fact that you're trying basically to gaslight this guy is crazy. So it's out of the box. It's wild. So you get a point of crazy. Clever, cool, crazy. It's not just a name. It's a mechanic. Okay, so you haven't even rolled yet,
Or all the
right?
crazy
And you're
points.
already up to 5.
Okay.
Is this clever? Well, if you pull it off, it'll let you keep the toe jam maybe for free. So I'm gonna argue yes. So that's up to 6, and you haven't even rolled yet.
Oh.
I know. And is this cool? There is nothing cool about this. This is disgusting. I would say. Now, here's a fun mechanic. I, as what usually is called a game master, but in Clever Cool Crazy is called the Revealer of Worlds, or the Row.
Ooh.
Yes, as the Row, I have already designated that this is clever and crazy. I don't think it's cool. But any other, including yourself, players may make an argument for that cool point. If you want to try and convince us that this is something that's also cool, I see heads shaking, and you don't have to.
Nope.
Is anyone thinking this is cool? Hearing
Not at
that.
all.
I think it's amusing. I'm not sure if it's cool.
Yeah, totally. And that's why you guys earned a point of awesome, and we got the crazy in there. All right, so you're at a base of 6, I believe, if my math is
Mhm.
correct. But you have to convince Gunga. Now, Gunga, he's trying to gaslight you. What about your character do you think is resisting this gaslighting?
Probably not much. He's easily convinced. So he might just think that he imagined that whole thing. If this guy is that convincing, now I'm questioning, did that really happen?
He might indeed. Let me ask this question. What about you do you think would resist this?
Just the fact that that's my toe jam and I'm proud of it.
All right. So yeah, that sounds like your name to me. How important is Gunga's pride in being Gunga and his toe jam to you? Is it very important or not very important?
Very important, yes.
All right. I would say you'd put a 2 by your name then, if you haven't already.
Yeah.
All right. And I would argue, I feel like trolls are very hard-headed, so I don't know that any trolls are just going to, they may be not the smartest, but I think they may be a little tough to convince of things. What do you think?
Yeah, I could see that.
Okay.
He's just he's an amenable troll, so he just kind of,
Yeah.
he wants friends right now. He feels alone, he's the same thing without his pack.
Gotcha.
So
Gotcha. So being now, how good of a troll are you? Are you like a trolly troll, or are you like, I'm a troll?
he's a trolly troll. He's
All right.
definitely,
And I
yeah.
would probably make an argument for putting a 2 by your troll nature. Now, what culture does Gunga Legunga come from?
It's a tribal culture. So they were, think of them like, I don't know, maybe Viking-ish type. They lived up in the mountains, and they were hunter-gatherers, and they performed rituals, and
Gotcha.
they can manipulate the earth and the rocks.
Gotcha. So, you know what? We can just keep it simple and say, mountain tribe.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it sounds like you got a lot of outdoorsy skills with that, which will come into play. Are you a better troll than you are a mountain dweller, or vice versa?
I'd say he's a better mountain dweller.
All right,
druid
then
type.
I would probably knock the troll down to 1 and put that 2 by your mountain tribe.
Okay.
All right, and if we were playing DC 20 or D&D, what kind of class or profession would you be?
He'd be a druid.
Okay, druid.
Earth druid.
Yep. You can, if you want to specify Earth Druid, you absolutely can. That will impact some things. You can put Earth Druid. Now,
yeah, he has no skill with fire or cold or water or any of that. It's just strictly earth, rocks, mud.
Would you say you're sort of a beginning Earth Druid, or should we try and bump that up and take one of the others down?
No, he's pretty good at that. He's been that since birth.
All right. Earth Druid 2. So should we take the Gunga Legunga down to 1?
Yeah.
All right,
yeah.
Let's do that. Okay, so we just created your character sheet very quickly there. And let me ask you this. Gunga Legunga is trying, well, he's not really trying real hard to resist the toe jam being disappeared on him, but I feel like a mountain tribe probably is pretty attuned to their body and their surroundings. You're not going to pull a lot by a guy who has to live by hunting and gathering, right?
Some payment for that, yes.
Yeah, so I would argue that might be your base feature for this opposing. And let's see here. I still think it goes to Gunga Legunga, so that probably is going to be your helping out factor. Unless you want to make a counter argument. It's your character.
It'd be either that or the mountain tribe.
Well, the mountain tribe is definitely going to be your base, but you get to use more than just one feature to help yourself out with these things.
So yeah, I would use his name because that's part of his person.
I agree.
Toe
All right.
jam and his
Yep.
rock barnacles.
Okay, so you're gonna get 2 for being a man of the mountains, a troll of the mountains, if you will. You're gonna get an additional 1 for being Gunga the Gunga, and no one takes my
Right.
toe jam without me knowing it. So that's 3 there. And I would say I feel like you're just kind of just sussing out. You're not super concerned about this. So I don't think you're doing anything clever in this situation. So I probably would not award a clever. If someone has a counter argument, feel free.
Nope.
I think, just letting him get your toe jam, that I think probably is just your base. I don't think it's cool or crazy, but if you want to do some, you were kind of at least arguing with him. I think I'll give you a clever because you were arguing with him. It's like I saw you, so you were using logic, you were using your senses. So I think that's a little clever. I'll give you that one. How's that sound?
I'm gonna gaslight him back.
Okay. No, okay, now this is interesting. How are you going to gaslight him back? Because it may affect the roll.
I was gonna, in the next exchange, we call him Ran Rappy. Put that toe jam back.
All right. Ren Reppy, I like it. So you're going to mess with his name. Yeah.
That's what I call him, yes.
I think if you can put that on him, that would actually be kind of cool. Little cruel cool, but cool. So I'll give you a point of cool for this approach. So right now, you're up to 3 plus 2, so you're up to 5. So it's 5 versus 6. All right. And anyone want to argue for this being crazy before I get them to roll?
Roll off.
All right. Yes. So we're gonna use the patented dueling exploding dice system, or DEDS for abbreviation. So each of you, because you're opposing each other, can roll a d6, but the question is, do you want to expend any effort to increase the amount of dice you're rolling for this? Personally, you only got 2 effort. I don't know if I would spend it on this, but you may spend up to the amount of clever, cool, crazy on effort to add to the number of dice you roll. Anyone want to spend any effort on this?
Replenish effort in the game?
Yes, through awesome or rolling a 0, which is a 6, because there's no 6s on our dice. It's 0 to 5 instead of 1 to 6. Or rolling a 5 will give you some extra effort back. So it does replenish, but not necessarily at a super high rate.
Not gonna put any in, yeah, no.
Okay, how about Raquel?
I do not wish to use any effort.
All right, then it's a straight D6 versus D6. You can roll them.
I can't do the roll 20 thing.
That's right.
So.
Just tell us what you roll.
A 2.
All right.
I rolled a 6.
All right. So
that's a 0.
So you add 2 to your 5. You add 0 to your 6, but you do get a point of effort because you got momentum from rolling a 0 or a 6, or I'm sorry, a 0 or a 5, at least one of those during your roll. All right. So narrowly, for a moment there, Gunga, he had you going. But right at the end, I want you to describe, Raquel, for us how you almost had him going, but then you started to even question your own name, as he keeps calling you this name.
My name is Raquel Ran Rappy.
What's your name?
Raquel. What? How did you know my name?
Oh, well, you told me your name. When I had a little pet weasel lizard rat thing, and I named him Ran Rappy, and he looks just like you, so.
Did you like this weasel thing?
Oh yes, he was delicious.
But I'm like, you see me like very confused. But my name is Rachel. My name is Rachel.
Right.
Then as
That's
he
Ran
said
Rappy for
that-
short.
Yep. And you actually, I think, believe him. It's Renrappy for short.
So my name is Ran Rappy?
Yeah, we just decided that.
Okay, well, my name is Ran Rappy. And your name is what again?
Gunga, Gunga Gunga.
Gunga Lungunga. And I put my hand up as like go to yes, I grab your finger.
There you go. What a grip you have there. Look, Ran Rappy, I'll let you keep the first bit of Toe Jam for free as a token of good faith. Let's join forces and go find some more people and make a tribe. Because I'm fresh out of tribesman.
That sounds like a fantastic idea. Which way should we go?
I don't know, I'm not the leader.
And as they say that, they see your 3 characters. So why don't you guys approach and get into this game?
They'll see Skeeter. He's over this like cooking pot with this large turtle shell, and it looks like he's got this meat stew that he's stirring up with a stick. And he walks over and he goes, hey, Ray Bob, not nice to meet you. And he's going to reach in his pocket. He's going to pull that toe jam out. He goes, oh, this ought to add a nice bit of tang to this stew. And he walks over and he drops it in the middle of the stew, drops the toe jam in there. And he drops it in the stew, and he's got these other little turtle shells, and he reaches in and scoops one up. He goes, hey, Booger, you want to try this? And he lifts it up toward the troll, and it's this little meat stool, and he goes, Ray Bob, I got some for you too. And you see him eating this stew off of his fingers, and he's like, oh, that toe jam had a nice bit of tang to this. He said, quite good. Next time I'll make some corn pone, but he said, I got some meat stew. Well, here, fellas, go ahead. Give it a try.
All right. Does anyone try this?
No.
Edible.
I would. I'll try some.
All right. So go ahead. Try some and tell us how it tastes.
I stick my finger in whatever he. Oh, it's spicy. But good. I'll take some more.
All right. Yeah, help yourself, right?
It's very good. Oh, I take the toe jam that I haven't added in.
Very strange.
It is a
And he'll look at the big troll, and he'll lift the little shell up high up over his head, and he'll go, here, give it a try. Trust me, you'll really like it. It's quite good.
Well, there's toe jam in there. You're not supposed to eat that.
That's what gives it the zinger.
All right. When in Rome, I guess, and I'll take it, and I'll sip it, and I'll do a spit take all over him.
All right. Love it.
I told you this is toe jam.
All right.
Well, it looks like that was edible until what you did to it. My name is Marquise. You can call me Kaleidoscope or Marquise. I don't care. And thanks for ruining our stew. This is great.
Demon?
How was it? It was good, huh? Do you need some more?
Are you a demon? You're ignoring my question.
No, I am very purple. I do have horns. I have some colorful clothes, but maybe I am a demon. Yes, I like that. I am a demon now. Yes.
Guys, it's a demon. Look,
I'm a
it's
demon.
a demon.
Look at me. I'm a demon.
Nobody's afraid.
Most
Good
demons
thing I'm
do
not hungry, though.
Most demons do not claim they're demons.
Oh,
That's what I heard.
They are deceivers.
That's right.
Oh.
He knows what he's talking about, this guy. Listen to him.
He's standing there in full clerical robes that look a little bulky, especially when he pulls his hood back and you see a rather slender face with long, dirty blonde hair pulled back into a loose tail. I am Callum of the Light. I was sent here by my order to help these folk. I'm assuming you're all here to aid as well.
I was going to eat some stew, but now, not that they put toe jam in it.
He makes this distasteful little look. Imagine every prissy elf ever looking at something they found disgusting in any fantasy world. That's exactly how he looks right now.
Yes.
He actually steps away from the pot a little bit.
Perfect.
Just kind of holds up a hand. Yes, I think I will leave that for all of you to enjoy.
Are there people
Well,
to help, sir? Let's go help them. I'll help
Yes.
some people.
As
Holy man helping a demon. What?
And as
He has done
say all
nothing.
this, something happens, and I'm going to.
What?
Yes, something indeed happens. The sky darkens. At first, it seems as if a dark cloud has come over the sun, but then you hear what sounds like the incessant sound of buzzing. Before I reveal what is coming your way, I do have a little housekeeping to do because we did have our first dueling exploding dice system roll, and this is a one shot. Now, experience in Clever Cool Crazy, if we were going to do like 2 or 3 sessions or more, we would give it as sort of increments. But because this is a one-time for these characters, unless you guys want to play more, you actually get awarded a total of 1 experience for the first time you use a feature during the session, which actually will bump up the total score so you can actually see it. So for Gunga, your mountain tribe bumps to a 3, and your Gunga Lagunga bumps to a 2. And for Raquel, your Raquel bumps, I believe, that was at a 2, and if so,
It was at a
1. It
was
bumps
at a
to
1,
2.
yeah.
So now it's a 2. And your Kobold, I think, was the other one you used. That bumps to a 3. So congratulations. You have leveled up. Because it's a one shot, so we have to level up fast. And that's going to be important because that cloud is descending on the stronghold of the Myconians. And it is a massive swarm of sturges that are descending upon the entire stronghold. What on earth will you all do?
I'm going to take
You said a massive cloud of what?
Sturges. So massive, sort of nasty combination of like bug and bat.
Yeah, I got it.
Bloodsuckers. Yeah, I probably got a picture somewhere if you need a visual, but I think most of our studio audience knows sturges. So the question is, what are you going to do? Raquel, I think you had an idea. What are you doing?
I plan on taking my staff and swinging it in the air like just almost like a big propeller or whatnot, trying to create this like whirlwind effect and create like a vortex of wind to disperse them.
I love it. Wargaszm, what is your character's name again, and what are they doing?
Skeeter. Skeeter sets down his bowl and he starts doing these martial arts moves kind of in the middle of the air, but it reminds you more of like Chris Rock from Rush Hour. They don't look like he's really done a ton of martial arts stuff, and he's making a lot of loud noises and throwing his hands around and looks like he's getting ready to fight, and everybody's eyebrows are raising because he looks downright foolish.
I love it. I love it. So he's getting his martial on. And how about and Aegis Virium, remind me your character's name and what are they doing?
Callum.
Callum, thank you.
He kind of sighs a little bit and he shrugs off the robe, and you see the reason it looks bulky is he's wearing a very resplendent set of chain
Nice.
that's done in white and gold. He has this flanged mace that looks silver and gold, obviously just an accent. So it begins, he says under his voice, and then all of a sudden he throws his head back, and in this big booming voice, what was the name of the people? The Myconids?
Yes.
Okay, he just in this
Myconids.
big booming commanding voice, the Myconids, he just screams out, "Myconids, get your innocent indoors. Battle is joined." And then he reaches down and hefts the shield in one hand and a mace in the other, and he just stands ready.
Love it. And so Rick, what is your character doing again? And what is
My character is going to button up his colorful clothes. He's going to pull out his sword, look at the elf next to him, and be like, "My God, those clothes are beautiful. This armor is lovely." I'm going to stand right next to him and a little bit behind him so he can shield everything that comes in. But I will put a hand on his back and pull my sword out and be like, "I've got your back, my friend. Go forward."
All right. Yeah, I can see you angling for the clever and cool there. I'm feeling it. And Gunga La Gunga, last but not least.
So I look up and I say, "Oh, look, those are delicious." And I pick up some rocks and I'm getting ready to start picking them out of the sky.
Love it. All right. So basically, we're going to, the nice thing about Clever, Cool, Crazy is we don't need initiative because you're all basically going to roll at once. All right. So very quickly, and you're going to roll against the Sturges, which I will roll for you. I would say, I'm going to actually start with Rick's character. What is his name again? Your
My character is Marquise, otherwise known as Kaleidoscope.
Yeah. So
Either way.
Yeah, so I would say your approach is definitely clever. I think it's kind of cool. Standing back to back, although maybe pushing a little forward. I don't know that part.
Oh,
might be
yes,
a
I'm
little-
pushing for sure.
Okay, that may be a little less cool. But I'm going to give cool for style. And I don't know that it's a crazy approach. So I would
No,
say,
not crazy at all.
yeah, I'm going to give those two. And what features are you using for this approach you're taking?
I'm obviously going to use my rogue feature,
Okay.
my nourishment.
All right.
So that would be rogue.
Yep.
So I'm going to try to hide a little bit behind him, but anything that comes near him, I'm definitely going to pick it off.
And would you say your rogue is a 1 or 2 feature for you?
Ooh, that would be a 1 feature, I think.
Okay.
That's his secondariness.
And
yes.
you I feel like you almost used your personality, your reputation. You threw that name out there. So is that a 2?
For sure.
Okay. So,
my name is everything to me.
Yeah. So I would say that would be your base, who you are, number 2, and then your rogue, number 1. So you're 3 plus clever and cool, so you're up to 4 there.
Nice.
And I'm gonna go next to again. I may have my own memory problems. So
It's okay.
with me if I say screen names. Wargaszm, what would you say are the features you're using for this approach? Oh, this is Skeeter, right?
Yes.
Oh yeah, Skeeter
Right.
McGee. I remember Skeeter McGee. So what would you say are the features you're using for your approach to this situation?
He'll lean into what he believes is his innate monk abilities and it'll look like he's doing like a flurry of blows with his hands moving real fast. Though he looks funky as can be.
Yeah, that's going to be crazy. I'm going to give you a crazy right there, my friend.
He's he's got this real stern look on his face like he is the greatest monk in the world. He's not scared at all. And he kind of shouts something out in a real country accent. "You're going to taste real good in my pot."
I'm giving him all of it. He's getting clever, cool, and crazy. It's clever using his monk abilities to ward off this attack. His whole style is just a little off and crazy and wild. And quite frankly, though, if he pulls it off, it's kind of cool. So I'm giving you all 3. And your monk is a 2 or 1 feature. What do you think?
It's a 1.
And it sounded like you were also kind of invoking your Skeeter McGee-ness for this.
Yeah, his country bumpkin background
Oh,
kind of
okay. Yeah.
falls into everything.
Well, that could be your nurture, your country bumpkin. So is that a 1 or a 2 for you?
Well, for him, it's definitely a 2.
Okay. Well, that means everything else is a 1. Are you okay with that?
Yeah, that's fine.
All right. So that's going to be a 2 as the base. Now they're about equal, so it doesn't really matter for this. So you're going to get 2 for the base. You're going to get 1 for the assist from the other. It doesn't matter. You're going to have a 3 total. And
Actually, his country bumpkin would be a 1 because it's the reveal thing that's the 2.
oh, okay. Fair enough. Good point. All right. So your base is going to be your monk, and your assisting feature will be your country bumpkin. So it's still 3, and which it's going to be. Your clever, cool, crazy is another 3. So you're up to 6, and you haven't even rolled. So we'll keep that in mind. I love it. And Aegis Virium, remind me of your protagonist's name.
Callum.
Callum. You definitely get the cool points for sure. I love this whole, shining reveal. I love how you're working the calling out to the Myconians. I think that's clever. Getting them to safety definitely is going to affect what happens here. So you're getting cool and clever. I don't know that there's anything really crazy about it though. So I think I'd just give those 2. And which of your features are you invoking for this approach?
He has because of his the way he grew up, he has a very overprotective nature. That's why he's a very reluctant paladin. He wants to just be a cloistered cleric, but he can't let people suffer.
Okay.
And so he is very good at bringing his lord's wrath down.
All right. And which feature do you feel that is invoking?
I actually think that's probably his background for his nurture. That's what drives him the most.
All right. So let's give it a name. Reluctant cleric?
Reluctant paladin.
Reluctant paladin.
He wants to be a cleric, but he's a reluctant paladin.
He's a reluctant paladin who wants to be a cleric. Okay. How about we call your background aspiring cleric?
Okay.
And your class will be reluctant paladin. How's that sound?
Okay.
And which do you think is more potent in you? Your reluctant paladinness or your aspiring clericalness?
It's the reluctant paladin that's actually most prominent. He's very good at that, and he doesn't like it.
That'll be a 2 for sure. So we'll put the reluctant aspiring cleric at a 1, but they're both going to come into play. So you're going to have 3 plus the 2 for being clever and cool. So that's 5 as your base. Okay. And Raykal, what would you already did one of these rolls? So what do you think's going on with your character? Can you do the math for us?
Well, yes, probably a little bit. Let's see here. Well, he wants to. I'm going to be honest with you. I think the only thing he's using here, in waving his staff around, is his wizardry, which would be just a base of 2.
Okay.
Is he
actually casting a spell with this?
I would say yes, because he can't obviously just with a staff. He can't just create a whirlwind that's going to disperse the Sturges.
Absolutely.
So yeah, he would be trying to cast a spell.
I love it. Okay. But yeah, no, we can just make it your wizardry as your base. You don't have to have another invoke feature. The fact that you aren't with your pack, does it make it harder for you to remember your spells?
You could argue that, yes, absolutely.
Right, so your condition's gonna go away from that, but you could spend some effort to negate that condition. Do you want to do that?
Not at this moment, no.
No worries. Okay, so you're down to a base of 1.
Yes.
And you know, I don't know. I feel like though you've adopted Gunga Lagunga sort of almost as your pack for the moment. So I feel like maybe your kobold, your outcast actually should play into this. You're like trying.
Okay.
You're an outcast. You're trying to find your people. You're trying to protect the new people. I'm gonna let you add that. What is that? A 2 or a 1?
For the pack.
Your outcast.
Oh, yeah. Okay. 1. Sorry, 1.
All right. So you'll be up to total of 2. Both will go up
2.
after
Okay.
this. You know, if you have, because I don't think you used those before, so both will go up. So your base 2. You know, I think it's clever to cast a whirlwind to repel these back. I think if you pull it off, it's going to look awful cool. And I don't know. To me, a kobold like whipping around a staff through the air like that, it's a little crazy too for me. So I'm going to give you all 3. Maybe I'm being generous, but hey, let's have fun. And last but not least, Gunga Lagunga, you know, a mountain tribal troll throwing rocks. I mean, I think I know what you're pulling on there, and I think for who you are, that's the power play. That's clever. And if you massively crush a bunch of these things with these rocks, I think that's going to look cool as all get out. So I'm going to give you. I would use those 2 unless you want to make a counter argument, and you'll get clever and cool at it. So and you can do the math.
Brandon, do I see any spell effect like a whirlwind coming off of your staff or no?
We'll have to see how well he rolls. You might though.
Okay, so if I see what he's spinning, and so I would throw a big rock up, and then I would launch another big rock at it, so it breaks into little rocks like a meteor thing, all at these Sturges, but I would aim it toward his whirlwind, so the rocks just could spin around and.
I love it.
Be
all right.
Battering.
You all have your numeric base, and you may spend effort up to how much clever, cool, or crazy you were awarded. Some of you got 2, some of you got 3. So right now, I think you only have 2 effort to spend, though. And I will say for Raykal, because your condition came into effect, you would have to spend 1 effort to negate the condition to then spend more to take advantage of rolling more dice. I will give you guys a hint. This is not the boss battle, but it's up to you if you want to spend any effort on this. And you can just decide on your own and roll it. You don't need to announce it.
I think several people in the party are going to notice that Skeeter's eyes have gotten really big and his mouth went wide because he thinks his flurry of blows actions is creating this whirlwind, and he's just amazed he's doing this well.
Yep.
Good job, little one.
That's awesome. All right. Well, I am going to roll for these Sturges, which are not very powerful. Go ahead and everyone, let's roll.
Let's roll.
Does somebody want to roll for me if you want to keep it on roll 20?
Sure,
I don't mind.
sure. I'll roll for you. How many dice am I rolling for you? Are you spending any effort?
No effort yet.
Okay, then that'll keep it simple. Let's see. Not D6. All right, you got a 3 to add to that, so keep track. All right, basically everyone gets to roll. If any of you roll a 5, roll again. Did anyone get?
I rolled a 5, so that
again.
was my question.
You're gonna you get an you'll at the end of this you'll get 1 effort.
And okay, I rolled another 5.
Keep rolling. It explodes. So now you're adding 10 just from the roll.
And now a 2.
All right, so you add that 2. So you got 12 from your roll that you add to this.
Wow.
Yeah, I love it.
Beautiful.
I love the explosions, you know. All right, so who had the lowest total? Who thinks they have the lowest total? What did you get? What's your total?
I rolled a 1.
All right, and you added 1, and what was the total when you added that 1?
I think you said 4, so that'd be 5 altogether.
All right, so you had 5. Anyone have lower than a 5?
Well, for me, I don't remember. You didn't tell me. What...
Yeah, you add 3 to your total. You do not have lower than a 5.
No, but what's my total? Did you roll the dice? I don't know what my total is.
Yeah, all I did was roll a d6, so add 3. So your mountain your mountain, tribal mountain was up to a 3 already, so you're at 6 from that, and then your you were adding, I believe, your troll, which was at a 1, I think. And
1, yeah.
yep. So, and it doesn't matter. That would still add just as the helper. So that was 4 for your features, 3 for the roll. That's 7. And I thought it was clever and cool, so that's an additional 2. So you're at a 9. So,
Okay. So you rolled a 3 for me, is what you're saying. I can't see the roll 20.
that
that's
is
why I'm
correct.
asking. Gotcha. Okay.
Yep. All right. So, Rick, tell us how you managed to help with defeating this horde of Sturges, but you weren't really the best part of the party at doing this. But tell us your
Well,
little part in this.
I would say anything that got close to me, I might be able to hit. But if I didn't hit it and Callum hit it, I would be like, yes, good. That was my hit too. I hit it toward you, and you did that great thing. And I just, yeah, go. Look at you with Skeeter with your kicking and your punching. You blew that window open. It was a freaking amazing. Go, guys, go. Do this.
All right.
Yeah.
All right. Anyone get lower than a 9 total?
Yes.
What did you get?
Yes.
Ooh.
What did you get?
I had a 6 in total.
Okay. What did you have, Raquel?
I had 5 total.
All right. So our 5 total. Describe how this spell, it helped, but it just wasn't what put you guys over the top in defeating this swarm.
So, I take my staff and I do this, and you can feel the wind around move, and the Sturgis just kind of part around it. Doesn't really disturb them, but they just go around it.
Yeah.
I create this tunnel though.
Yeah, it slowed them a little because they had to detour, but not much. And our 6, go ahead and again, maybe describe for us how you helped the Myconians, but weren't able to do a lot with the Sturges.
He's mostly working on guarding, since Kaleidoscope is the closest one to him. He's mostly working on guarding him.
Yeah.
And he's barking orders to the civilians, telling them to get under cover, and basically acting more as logistics than he is actually fighting, and is literally just more defending himself. He understands his capabilities. Fighting a swarm is not something he's good at.
Yeah. But, you helped get those Myconians under cover. It probably avoided some casualties, so that really helped. But what we really need to hear, because I believe Skeeter McGee, what you exploded to 12 just on the roll. What was your total?
Yeah, so mine was an 18.
All right. I want you to describe to us how Skeeter McGee outshone all of these people and how he destroyed this threat.
Well, with that flurry of blows and his legs kicking up in the air and going crazy, really it was the whirlwind more that accentuated it than he did. But he felt that he was just whipping that flurry of blows around, and the Sturges were flying left and right and going back and forth. And he even reached out and grabbed one by the throat real quick as it went by and looked at it. And he threw it in the pot real fast. And then he yelled out real quick, "That's what you get for interrupting my dinner."
Yeah. And with that, the final Sturge went in the pot. And the Myconians are like cheering Skeeter McGee. Like they've got big, chibi eyes staring at him as a hero among their people. Oh, and the rest of you helped. They're very happy for that. But Skeeter McGee,
not much.
Yeah, he shot. So little side note in Clever Cool Crazy, basically you can imagine combat more like a challenge or a combat challenge, and I like to basically have everyone kind of describe the results based off of the worst result, and then everyone has to outdo each other to the best result. So that's usually how I roll. But that's a soft roll, not a hard roll in Clever Cool Crazy. But I find sometimes
that's good.
Dramatically or thematically you do it differently, but that's how I like to do it. All right. You guys have fought off the Sturges. The Myconians are very gratified for that. I think small children are coming up to Skeeter McGee and like asking for like, tokens for this great warrior who has defended their stronghold.
Well, Skeeter's more looking at his hands, more amazed that something like this actually happened. You can just see he's a little bit in shock that this has actually occurred.
Yep. By the way, little housekeeping note for all of you who in this combat used one or two features you had not used yet, please increase those by one.
Right.
While you're doing this old woman comes up to you, leaning heavily on a intricately carved staff, and she says to you, "Thank you, great warriors. The creatures in the forest, they've become more bold. We don't know why. They just seem to come in waves. Might an old woman ask you on behalf of her people to venture forth into the forest and see if you can help us figure out why they keep plaguing our town?"
Callum steps forward, bows very deeply, very respectfully. "Of course, lady. Simply direct me in the to where they come from the most, and I shall venture forth immediately."
They seem to be coming from the north, and she points with a shaking hand due north. It is.
He nods. Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
No, go ahead and nod.
I was going to say he nods, then he walks over to where he dropped his robe, and he very carefully picks it up, folds it, lays it over his pack, and immediately starts walking off.
All right.
Slow down, friend. Wait up. Hold up. We're all going to go with you, but I need to get these kids in a line first because Skeeter needs to make some money. All you kids, it's 1 copper piece to get lessons from the great martial art master. Let's see if I can collect some money from these kids.
Okay. Yeah.
Come on, line up. He's great. He's amazing. Get in line.
Helping or
Do
hindering
it.
him on this?
Come on, you snot-licking kobold. Get in line. Help me out. Ren Rappy, is that what he called you? Ren Rappy? Help me out.
I don't think we should be making money off of the children.
That's the whole point of we being here, to make money, right?
Not off of the children.
Who cares? Their parents are paying, not like they have money in their own pockets. Come on, get with the
We
program.
We should offer free lessons.
Stop it. That's ridiculous. Nothing's free in this world.
For
Forget that.
charity.
Forget that.
All right. So here's what I'm going to do. Very quick, because
Yes,
we need to get this game moving. You two,
Let's
want
go.
you to oppose check. You guys are getting the feel for how we do this, so figure out which features apply. The highest one is your base. You get an additional point if you can figure out one or more features that would apply in addition. And then I would say for this, don't bother with effort, just roll it off. I don't know that either of you are having a particularly clever, cool, or crazy approach to this. To me, this is just a straight up grift and a straight up counter to it. Maybe a little crazy trying to fleece the kids. I'll maybe give you a crazy for that.
Thank you.
All right.
A roll on you, Ren Rappy.
And then
It's a 5 + 2 + 1, so that'd be an 8.
And I do not think your forgetful condition applies to this, so you do not need to worry about that for this roll.
No, but I think my ancestry does.
Yeah.
Because kobolds stick together, and I'm an outcast, so I feel bad for the kids. So I think I would get a +4 there.
Yep. Yes, because one of them are a 3, right? The base.
Yeah, my kobold is the base 3. Yep.
Absolutely.
So I'm gonna go ahead and roll that. So that's 3 + 4, 7.
And what was your total again?
I got a 5 + 3, which is an 8. Let's fleece these kids.
All right. So I want you to describe how you almost managed to convince these kids not to give this huckster any money.
So I kneel down, which only puts me down like 3 inches. So I'm face to face with them, and I say, "You don't need to give your money to this guy. He's just a guy. He's just somebody. I guess. But Skeeter's so cool. I don't know. Maybe do what you want. I guess I'm not your father."
All right, Skeeter.
True.
Not Skeeter. All right. Gosh. Rick, what's your character's name again? I'm so bad.
Marquise.
Martise, tell me how you sway the crowd and get the kids coppers in your.
Well, children, line up. Get behind us. You will see Skeeter do this fighting his moves. You need to learn all these moves. And I'm going to walk down and be like, you kid, look, button up your shirt. But watch out for Skeeter and take the money as I go through. I'm going to say something specifically to each kid.
They are so impressed. They hand over their coppers to you. Their eyes.
Yes.
And they're like, Skeeter, Skeeter, Skeeter. And they're like chanting, Skeeter,
right.
Skeeter, Skeeter.
We'll finish this later, though. We must go with this Claire Callum to finish the rest of your party. But Skeeter will be back. Come on, Skeeter. Let's go. Let's head off.
Shooing them away, and it's like, yes, please, thank you. So yes.
Ooh.
Yep. There you go. You got a pocket full of coppers. Now I'm going to tell you, that's more going to be a flavor effect. Assets are for things that are special. So a couple coppers isn't going to add a lot to your character. You probably had enough pocket change for regular stuff, but it was a cool grift.
That's true, but I will take kids' money.
Yes. So, yes, you will. Kind of sad. So you all start trekking through the forest to seek out the source of this trouble. Feel free to role play and describe what you're doing and how it's going.
We should follow maybe behind the troll. He's the largest, right? Like, make a hole, troll. Can you do that? Ooga Luga? What is your name?
Get in front. It's Gunga Gunga.
Oh, Gungu. Okay.
Apparently my new friends call me Booger. So that's
Booger?
Well.
Hi, Booger and Ren Rappy. Maybe you should take the front.
Yes, I will get in the front. I'm chewing on a sturge, by the way.
I love it.
As I walk through, and I can just knock stuff aside, the big branches, and if any of the little guys want to get up on my shoulder, we get a higher vantage point. You will climb up if you like. I don't want to step on you. You're so small and diminutive.
I feel like you would just eat me.
Well, I told you I'm not going to eat you. We're friends now. I don't eat my friends unless, I'm desperate.
All right, I'll climb on top of you.
All right, I love it.
I'll let you know if I get really hungry, and then you must run away.
So I see this tiny kobold riding on the shoulders of this large troll who's breaking the trail with these other 3 in tow. Although, actually, I don't know, did you let the troll take the lead? Because wasn't your reluctant paladin, heading out rapidly?
He was, but he stopped when Kaleidoscope said, wait, and then he distastefully frowned while he fleeced children.
Told you he's a demon.
I'm starting to agree. However, he will
donation for the church.
He will no.
Pop a piece for the church.
No, give it back to the children. He will let the troll take the lead. He will in turn guard the rear.
All right, very good. All right, so we've
mainly because the troll's eating a sturge.
Yep.
Skeeter will kind of walk next to the troll, but he's walking like Kane from Kung Fu with those real silent like steps and his hands out in this like martial protective stance. And he's going, point me at the danger. I'm ready.
All
Hey,
right.
Callum, what am I supposed to be looking for up here?
Anything unusual. Specifically look for any signs of increased animal activity, specifically predators.
That means look for scat.
Well, we're in a forest. It's going to be everywhere. I mean, like bears and Badges?
Yes, anything unusual. Are you familiar with the forest?
Yeah.
Okay. Then anything unusual. Also, if you are attacked, that's a pretty good sign.
Oh, okay. I'll keep that in mind. Good reminder.
All right. I may be a soft touch, but I'm going to give the whole party one additional awesome. Yeah, increase your effort by 1 for great role playing. And I think hearing your approaches, I will keep these into account for anything you encounter. Why don't we go ahead and basically do the clever, cool, crazy version of a challenge? So basically, based off of what you described as what you are doing, each of you go ahead and make a roll. So pick whichever of your features, based off of what you just described, you think is the most applicable feature or features. Whichever is the highest is going to be your base. If you were able to get 2 or more features, pick those to add 1 total to your base. And then you're going to I would say I think you riding up on the troll is actually a clever position for your kobold. I think the fact that you guys are having the troll lead and use his ability to tracking, I think that's clever as well. And I'd say it's a little cool.
Can I invoke a feature here?
You may.
So you had said that I could hold on to a feature, and I think this is.
I did indeed.
I think I'd like to use my eyes. I have keen eyesight, being a kobold. So I'd like to use my eyes and just kind of scan the peripheral as Gunga Lagunga is kind of moving things around.
Yep. So we'll call that keen eyesight 1. And after you use it, it'll go up to 2 because it's a 1-shot. So you guys are rapidly learning your trade. But it'll just be a 1 for this roll. And so let's see here. And I think covering the rear is a clever move as well. Definitely plays into your, I think, reluctant paladin, but you may have a different approach. But that's what it sounds like to me. And so, Skeeter and Caleb, anything in particular you think is clever, cool, or crazy about your approaches to what you're doing?
Skeeter's just doing that kind of animated martial like movements
You are
as he's moving through to be protective. So most of his stuff is still in kind of the monk realm.
Yeah.
He's kind of living large after that last event and thinks he's 10 times better monk than he really is. And so he's going to protect the group with his monkiness, I guess is the best way to put it.
He was a
Monkey.
Yeah, monkey.
He's monkeying around.
He was pretty good at it though. And he was being stealthy, as I recall. So I think overall this is a clever and cool approach on your part. And what about our, devilish-looking huckster?
I'm just going to make fun of these guys. Look at these guys in the front, Callum. This is great. We got these guys in front of us. It'll be awesome. They will be at the front, take the brunt, and it's going to be great. We're going to be easy.
I'll give you a
slide right behind them.
I'll give you a crazy for that, but I'm not giving you much else for that. All right. What's that?
So we can hear you, Satan.
Yep. And
oh, sorry.
Yeah. Now
you weren't supposed to hear that. Sorry, friend.
Well, I figured.
Yep. It's up to you guys if you want to spend any effort on this. It's not the most important role of the session, but you have gained a fair amount of effort, so it's up to you.
I'll go ahead and use effort.
Okay. You can use a number of effort up to the clever, cool, crazy you were awarded. How much do you want to spend?
Just 1.
Okay. Go ahead.
0.
Yep. If you're doing 1, you get to roll 2 d6s, and you keep the 5s in the highest.
Okay.
Now, here's the funny thing in Clever, Cool, Crazy, or 3C. The world does roll back against you, so.
Shit.
No, that's okay.
I didn't know. I didn't. Oh, yeah, I rolled a 2 and a 5. So.
then you actually keep the 5 and the 2, so a total of 7.
Okay.
And after this roll, you'll get 1 effort.
Okay.
Did I get any of the C's on this one? I don't remember.
I said this was a clever approach, and I thought a little cool. You traipsing through.
Okay. Do you want to roll my base for me, Glenn?
I will.
Dice?
I will.
Roll.
Your base is your highest feature used, but I will roll your d6 for you. Are you spending any effort?
No.
Okay, that's fine. a mere 1 that you will add to your total from the roll. All right. Who thinks they have the lowest roll?
I think it's Gunga.
What'd you get, Gunga? Total.
7 total.
All right. All right.
I tied with him.
Okay, who's tied with him?
Caleb.
All right, so the front and the lead and the back are tied for 7. And who thinks they have the next lowest?
I rolled a 3.
8.
I have 8.
8.
Okay.
8.
So 2 7s, 2 8s. And Skeeter, are you the highest in the group again?
I rolled a 3, and then I start with a 6. Is that correct?
Yes.
So that puts me at 9.
All right.
And then I get 1 for the monk, right?
Yeah. Yes, for the additional if you.
Okay, so I'm at 10.
So hold on a second. So yes, you had 6 because you were being clever, cool, and crazy, right? And you had 3 as your highest feature used.
Yes.
Okay. Yep. Got it. All right. So the good news is this was a fairly straightforward approach. So I think almost I will start with actually Gunga Gunga. Describe for us how you find that the trees around here seem to have been scraped and clawed at.
For anything unusual, as Callum told me to do. And I look and I see that some of the bigger trees seem to have some. Callum, they have some claw marks on the trees. Is that what you're talking about?
That would be unusual, yes.
Yes.
Okay, then there might be some monsters hereabouts.
Yep. And once he points it out to you, Callum, you also notice it, and you're feeling pretty good that you guys aren't being followed. You think the threat may be ahead of you, not behind. And for my 2 8s in the group, describe how you're able to estimate from the marks that Gunga Gunga has pointed out. Maybe that, whatever came through here may be just like an hour or 2 ago.
What do you think, Run Rapid? Does that look recent?
Yes, I see. It looks like I start counting the trees, and I like shift Gunga La Gunga's head. Look here. Look over here. It looks like they've only. It's pretty recent, within the last couple hours.
Is it wet? Is it a little bit damp on the inside there, Run Rapid?
It looks a little. Yeah, it hasn't rained, has it? No, it hasn't rained at all. Yeah.
That means it's fresh. That means it's fresh. Remember that. Remember that.
Wet means fresh. Got it.
There you go.
I stick my finger in Gunga La Gunga's ear and get some earwax out.
Yep.
Eat that.
I felt nice. Do the other one.
And, yeah, go ahead.
I like you. Ooh, don't stop.
What flavor stew would that be?
Yep. I'm going to
There's a
add.
bit of retching in the back.
Yep. Yeah, well, you should. I will add, Rachel, from your perspective, you do actually notice that the claw marks look deeper, higher up in the trees.
Oh.
Look up, Gunga.
Oh, what do I? Oh, bird! Look, there's birds up there. Who cares about them?
No. Not that far. Right there. The claw marks look deeper.
Oh, the claw marks look deeper. Oh, if you say so.
Yep.
What does that mean? They're flying in the trees? They're holding onto the trees? What does that mean?
Maybe they are in the trees.
Or they're very large.
This
Or
could
they're
be.
very-
Let's listen to Callum. He sounds smarter than both of you two.
Well, do we
You
look?
two
Do we
don't sound
look and
that
see
smart.
if are there climb marks as they climbed up, or do they start high as he pointed them up?
It looks more like it started high and came down. And
It's a little more
Sliding
reassuring.
down the trees.
yes. And
Skeeter, can you climb up a tree? You look like a monkey. Can you climb up there?
Skeeter?
Yeah, Skeeter's going to try to shimmy up the tree and get a closer look at those marks. But the big thing is not only does he want to get a close look at them, he's going to kind of sniff at them and see if he notices any odd smell from them.
You do indeed notice them, and the smell is very odd to you. Like, you've never really smelled anything like this. It is alien to your knowledge, Skeeter.
Well, it don't smell good up here.
No.
I don't know what it is, but
whatever it is, Skeeter, you smell it on the wind. And you look from your vantage point in the trees, and you see in the large trees ahead of you what you're pretty convinced made those marks.
Skeeter's going to point in a direction with his dirty finger.
What? It's a tree whale.
Yep. You see in the trees, clawing its way towards you, a very angry looking tree whale.
Oh, hell no, friends.
Free whale.
What the hell is that? It's bigger than me.
So the
With a deep sigh. Oh, go ahead.
No, go ahead, Deep Sigh. Go for it.
Oh, I was going to say, with a deep sigh, he just squares his shoulders and he walks straight past the troll towards the whale.
Oh, my friend. You're so heroic.
Is it way up there?
It is way up there. But it is rapidly approaching you guys, high in the trees, but it looks like it's going to start angling down shortly. So, what are you guys going to do?
Pray, everyone. Anyone got some prayers? Anyone got a God they love? Because praying would be a good thing right now.
I always pray to my God.
I'm following this guy. He's gonna take the first blow. I'm gonna get behind him. It worked so far. Come on, you snot-nosed little goblin. Let's go. Oh, Cobalt, whatever you are. I don't know.
Same thing.
Hide a little bit. I'm a little scared.
Shoot your karate wind there, Skeeter. Karate wind. Karate wind. Come on.
Well, he's telling you. I'll get under Skeeter and say, if you want to jump, I'll catch you. I'll try anyway.
There you go. Teamwork. Go, guys, go.
So, what I will tell you is, Skeeter, since you were the first to spot it, you can tell me first, what is your intent? What do you plan to do?
Skeeter's looking down and he sees the booger stick his hand out like he's going to catch him, and Skeeter kind of leaps off the tree and into Booger's hand and says, "Oh, we need to get ready. That thing's coming."
And how do you get ready, Skeeter?
Skeeter's going to get down and get in his monk defensive stance and say, "Get behind me. I'll protect us."
Yeah, I'm gonna hide behind the monkey.
All right, you're gonna hide
Hold
behind
him up.
the monk.
Hold him up.
And Raycall, since you're on Gunga Lagunga's shoulders, what are you doing?
I'm going to be trying to hide behind his big head. And I'm going to be trying to, let's see. I'm going to try to use my staff of magic again and try to shoot a fireball at it.
Okay. All right. Game on. And what about our shifty sort? Gosh, why can't I remember your character's name, Rick?
Kaleidoscope or Marquise.
Kaleidoscope.
But I am going to do what I did last time. It worked well for me. I'm going to move right behind Callum and stay a little bit below him and make sure I got your back, my friend. I'm here for you.
So basically what I'm hearing is Skeeter takes a defensive stance, which Gunga Lagunga then hides behind him, which is ridiculous since he's massive and Skeeter's a little halfling. Raykall, a little bit more successful, hides behind Gunga Lagunga's head, which is not hidden by Skeeter's body. And then Kaleidoscope goes quickly to the rear of the group to hide behind the rear guard, Column. Column, what are you doing?
Callum, he shifts his mace over to his shield hand, grabs his holy symbol, and starts to glow with the light of the sun, making himself a target as he
Jesus
walks past all of them and literally does everything he can to draw this creature's attention to him.
All right. All right. So let me ask you, do you like advance forward to get in front of the group to do this?
Oh, yes. He never breaking stride. He just moves right around the troll and the rest of the Scooby gang and just keeps going.
Trying to run away, you're going in the wrong direction.
We do not run, friend. We advance.
I'm not part of that we you're talking about. I'm a separate we.
All right. So
did you just say you were going to have a we?
I'm having one right now.
Yeah. I am going to start with Column. I think your move, given who you are, given what you are, and what you aspire to be, I think it ticks for me all three. You're being clever to call upon your divine nature. I think if you pull this off, it's going to look cool as all get out. And I think it's crazy that you're putting yourself at the head of this group against this massive tree whale. So you get all three. Raykall, honestly, for a little kobold guy, I think you're being pretty darn clever on this. You're hiding behind some cover with the head of your troll companion, which, no, seriously, for what your position, I think that's the clever move. And you're going to try and shoot a fireball. I think that's a effective strategy given your power set. I think that's very clever. And quite frankly, if you can pull off shooting a fireball at this thing and win the day with it, I think that's going to look cool as all get out. I imagine it almost shooting out of Gunga Lagunga's ears. I don't know. It's very crazy. I think this is actually a smart move and a cool move if you pull it off. I don't know that it's that crazy though. Anyone want to counter that one? Okay.
Nope.
Hearing none.
And a no.
Yep. So, Kaleidoscope. I love the name. Yeah, the fact that you're running to the back basically to cower and hide, it's a coward's move, but it is a clever move. So I will give you the clever for your own self-defense. There is nothing about this. The fact that you're basically cowering behind this group is maybe clever, but it's also a little bit of a crazy move. So I'll give you clever and crazy. This is not cool. In so many ways, not cool. So
touche.
Yes. And so Gunga Lagunga, the fact that you're trying to hide behind a halfling, I don't think is particularly clever.
It's the opposite of clever.
It is
also going for the opposite.
Much the opposite of cool. If it actually works for you, that's a pretty crazy move. I'll give you crazy. That's about all you're getting out of me. And Skeeter.
Well, I imagine that Skeeter's just like doing all this all over the place. So I'm just trying to stay with him.
He was awfully effective against those Sturges. I'll give you the clever. Based off your knowledge of how good Skeeter is at this, I'll give you that. All right, I'll give it to you.
He's our protector.
He is. Speaking of which, Skeeter, this is this is what you do, man. You put yourself in harm's way. You got those monk moves going. I think that's very clever, knowing your monk background. If you can fend off a tree whale, that would look cool as all get out.
Legendary.
The fact that other than the reluctant paladin, you're holding your ground when all these other guys are retreating, I'm a little crazy for that as well. You got a little bit of that wild-eyed, backcountry halfling chutzpah going there. So I'm gonna give you all three. All right. So I think you guys are getting the feel for things. Go ahead and you know what features you're summoning and what the totals are. And I will tell you, this is the boss battle. So I would highly recommend spending whatever effort you can on this roll, because I'm going to spend effort on this roll. So any of you spending
Glenn.
all... Yes.
Does this go in rounds or just the whole battle right here?
This is it. This is for the whole enchilada, because we have a hard stop at 5. So we're going to do it like it's... If you wanted to use it from DC 20, this one's going to run more like a combat challenge. So yeah, this is for the whole enchilada.
Then I would have done something different. I thought this is like the initial move, and then we go back and
tell
forth.
me, what would you... Well, I'll tell you what. Tell you what I'm going to do. We'll make this a 2-round. This will be the first round, and then based off of that, we'll see how the second round goes. How's that?
Okay.
We'll make it a 2-round combat challenge a la DC 20, but it'll be 2 rounds. So, but this is the boss fight, so spend your effort accordingly. All right, and I'm going to tell you, this tree whale, seeing you all taking defensive positions and then seeing like nasty staves being pointed at it, I think it is going to start charging at you. So it is going to... I do need to know, because it's part of the mechanic. How much effort is anyone spending? Is anyone spending 2 effort? Anyone spending 3? I got a 3. All right. That's what I need to know. Yep. All right. 2 and 3. Very good. Well, you guys can do that for your roll. Yeah, I think I think the tree whale is going to match you guys in this charge. So let's roll. All right. So the tree whale rolled a total of 8.
Ooh.
And you do not know its base. So, oh, look at that. All right. Our reluctant paladin's putting the moves up. Look at that.
Do it. Come on.
Do it. All right. That one's a fun roll. It's a 5 and a 0, which means that basically you exploded to a 5, but you got a 0 on it. You do get effort back, but it's a 5 total.
Okay. Do I still get do I explode the 5 again?
Nope. Because you rolled 2D. So when you spend the extra effort, it increases the chance you're going to roll a 5. But basically, unless all of them are 5s, we just use what you rolled, and it speeds it up too.
Ah, fair enough.
Right.
Okay.
So like Wargaszm, your Skeeter would get a 3.
Oh, okay. I see what it goes.
Mm-hmm.
So it's the highest after you explode.
Yep. You keep 5s in the highest. And if all of the dice you rolled are 5s, you got to explode because... And it even works if you only rolled 1 die, right? Because you only rolled 1 die, so it's all 5s. Yep. Keep 5s in highest. And if it's all 5s, roll again. All right. So...
Okay.
I need to get back up to my roll. And do you need me to roll for you, Ken?
Yes, please.
You got it. Give me 1 second here. I just need to do some math in my head before I forget something. Okay, got it. And I'll roll yours. And you said you're rolling 2?
Yeah, I put 2 effort in.
Yep. All right, and you exploded. Luckily, I tend to roll high. So congratulations, you get to add 8 to your total. All right. So, question: did anyone get a total that is lower than 12?
I did.
Yes.
Okay. And so what was Raycall's total?
10.
And what was Kaleidoscope's total?
8.
Okay. So I
And
want you to,
Skeeter's an 8 as well.
yeah,
Skeeter, thank you.
I would like you to describe for us, Kaleidoscope. I'm sorry, did someone else get an 8?
Skeeter.
Skeeter got an 8. Oh, okay. All right. So we've got Skeeter got an 8 and Kaleidoscope got an 8 and Raycall got a 10. All right. Let's start. I'm going to start with Kaleidoscope. I want you to describe how, in the face of this charge, you failed miserably in your goal and gained a condition.
I will start behind Callum, cowering as usual. And I'm going to get down behind him and look back and be like, everyone, stay behind Callum. And I'm going to look forward, and he's already gone. He's gone, and I'm trying to hide behind him, but he's not there. So as this tree whale comes forward, I'm like, ah, shite.
Mm-hmm.
And it's right there upon me.
Yes. I'm going to give you I'm going to give you the condition naked cowardice.
Ooh.
1.
That was
So
appropriate.
you are so
I like
obvious in
that.
your cowardice that you will be an easy target. So that condition will apply to the next round.
Ooh.
Skeeter. How did Skeeter McGee really just fail?
Well, Skeeter's sitting there and his eyes just keep getting bigger and bigger as this thing gets closer because he realizes it's huge. And he just says, oh shit, this thing's big. And he just kind of freezes in place and starts shaking a little bit. And he can't even speak at that point. He's just almost frozen in fear. And almost looks like he's convulsing a little bit. As you can tell, he's literally shaking. His hands are shaking back and forth. And he doesn't look like the confident monk he was just a few minutes ago.
Is that P?
You will gain the condition. I do like it. I like the alliteration. Fearfully frozen 1. So that will impact your rolls. And Raycall, yours wasn't as bad as theirs, but it was close. I'd like you to describe how let's see, theirs was yep. How you gained a condition. Your basically, how did your spell misfire?
So I'm
Oh, no.
obviously I'm leaning around Gunga Lagunga's head, and as my staff kind of repulses as the fireball goes off, it creates this loud sound, and Gunga like jerks from it, reacts to it, and it just pulls the fireball off just to the right of the tree whale, hitting the canopy of the trees and creating this big explosion as you see a wildfire start off in the distance.
Okay. You know what? I love it. There is going to be now a area effect condition of a wildfire going on. So I'm going to say you right now have the condition of smoke in your eyes 1. But that's okay, because maybe your keen eyes can help counter that. All right, so of our 2 remaining folks who got 12 or above, what did you get?
Help me with the math again on how the exploding works, because I rolled actually I was supposed to roll 4, but I accidentally only rolled 3 dice.
Well, then roll that 4th one.
Oh, okay. Because the first one, because I misunderstood how the exploding worked, because I was thinking of another system. So, so it would have been a 5, 5, 3, 4 was my first roll.
Right. So your total is going to be a 14 that you add from the dice.
Okay. So 14 that I add from the dice, I would have taken the Reluctant Paladin, which is a base of 3, so that'd have been 17.
Yep.
Plus I get an extra 1 if another one kicks in, or is it the number of the one that kicks in?
it used to be the number of the one, but now it's just one because the scaling.
Okay.
Again,
So
the
that
game
would be a
is in
14.
development.
No, that's wonderful. That's actually very simplistic. I like it. 18 total then.
All right, and Gunga Gunga, what was your total?
Equal to the whale.
Oh, okay, so 12. All right, so Gunga Gunga, I want you to describe for us how, well, actually, yeah, because we're going to do 2 rounds, I'm going to let the tie stand. So the good news is Gunga Gunga did not gain a condition because he didn't fail, but I want you to describe how you didn't really contribute anything much more than keeping yourself from hurting yourself as this tree whale is advancing.
Yeah, well, I was crouching down there. 2 things happened. The wind changed, and I got a first-time full-on whiff of Skeeter, and I got a blast in my ear from the kobold, and I probably just stood up really quick and loud. Holy fuck! And so now I'm just exposed to this whale, and I better do something.
Yep. Fortunately, I think the tree whale is so dazzled by the naked cowardice of Kaleidoscope that he's almost not paying attention to you. But
His forehead.
I want you, Callum, to describe how you were very successful in what you were trying to do.
So I have a group of brave companions behind me who have ventured out with me to protect this village. Yes, one of them tried to grift children, and we will be speaking about that later. However, they have risked their lives to come out and protect innocents, which is something his lord favors. So he strides forward and he sees this massive tree whale, which is going to give me, the player, nightmares tonight, running and charging towards us. And all of a sudden, he just takes this defensive stance with his shield up in front of him and his mace out like he's going to hit. And he just screams out, in the name of the sun, you will stop. And all of a sudden, all that light just becomes a wall in front of him and just stops the whale's forward movement.
Yep, and that's exactly what happened. So, the whale now has a condition, cowed by divine light. So, the situation is before you. The tree whale's advance has been temporarily stalled, but several of you are in less great condition. By the way, any of you who rolled at least a 5 or a 0, you gain 1 effort back. Plus, thank you for our supporters. We actually hit the 4,000 mark. So you get an additional awesome for our donors being awesome, and you get 1 more effort.
Sweet.
All right. We are now in
Cute.
the end game. And Gunga La Gunga, since you started the idea of having this 2-round challenge, tell me, what's the play? What are you going to do?
Well, I've been using my druid stuff because now I'm exposed and I'm up there. Is there any kind of a pond or a river anywhere, a stream anywhere in this forest that I can see?
Yes, actually, there is a babbling brook off to the side.
Okay, so I will go, tree whales, hey, water, and I'll make a big explosion under the brook that, like a geyser, and it just try to aim it on the whale to get him wet because I know it's a tree whale and they hate water. At least I'm assuming this. I don't know. And so this explosion of earth with the water basically he gets slapped with a bunch of mud.
All right,
And
I love it. Well, that definitely will invoke your Earth Druid feature, and I feel like you're tapping into your tribal mountain knowledge to know about the tree whale's vulnerabilities. But anything else you think applies?
No, that would do it.
All right. Well, given that Callum was so successful in his last move, I will give him the honor of telling us what his next move is to try and end this dangerous encounter.
Now that he has now that the whale has stopped, all of that light seems to be rushing back into him, and the mace starts to glow, and he's just going to try to hit it with a massive divine smite.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So definitely
Bring it on!
Yep, you're definitely pulling on that reluctant paladin. Is this also that aspiring cleric pulling in?
Actually, I think this is going to pull more on his name.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because he's going to declare his name as he does it, Lord Callum.
Yes.
Of the light, and he's going to just slam the mace into it as hard as he can.
I love it. I love it. All right, all right. And you know, you got a little smoke in your eyes, but you're keen-sighted. So, what's Raycall doing in this situation? You see the mud coming in, you see the smite coming down, glowing mace. What is Raycall doing?
Well, I hear Gunga Lungunga say he doesn't like water. If he doesn't like water, he probably doesn't like ice. And I'm going to try to then use my staff and throw out freezing blast so I can freeze the mud around the tree whale.
I love it. I love it. All right, all right. So obviously using your wizardry, I feel like you are like tapping into that camaraderie by doing a combo move here. So I would definitely apply that. Very good. By the way, so far what I'm hearing from you three, I think Gunga Le Gunga, this is a clever, cool, and crazy move. Reiko, I also feel very clever, cool, and crazy. And Callum, you know, it's definitely clever. It's definitely cool. I don't know if it's that crazy. But yeah, well, you know what? You are literally saying, say my name, basically. I'm giving you the crazy. All right. And let's go to Skeeter. What's the play, Skeeter? Is it time?
Well, Skeeter's typically not scared, but you notice that his eyes are starting to like glow really, really, really red. And I'll let Glenn do the reveal description at this point. He can show you a photo. And I say his eyes are starting to grow red, and he's starting to kind of not foam at the mouth, but snarl and start looking kind of crazy. And go ahead, Glenn.
Yep. And as he does, before you, Skeeter transforms into you see hair grow. I mean, he's a little hairy for a halfling to begin with, but like it grows out and through his monk regalia. His dirty nails grow long and elongated, and he just becomes a massive were badger. And I believe you have a certain a couple other assets that you purchased as part of this, right?
Yeah, he's got like the tough skin and immune to like, or he's very resistant to poison and stuff. But he's fearless.
Yep.
Skeeter is literally going to on all fours start running toward the orcish were thing, and he's going to jump at it, and you're just going to see his claws and teeth out as he rips into this thing and claws all down the side of the whale, and from being scared a moment ago to being probably one of the most aggressive, vicious creatures you've ever seen, that even the whale will get it. This will even get the whale's attention.
Yep.
Because he is a fierce little machine.
I think it's clever. I think it's cool. I think it's a little crazy. And your fearlessness from...
And I'm going to use all of my effort left, the two left.
I understand. And your were badger asset of fearless will counteract the condition, so that's just already counteracted. They'll cancel each other out. And last but not least, our naked coward Kaleidoscope.
I see everybody else stepping up, so well, crap, I need to step up too. So I'm gonna run up to this troll and I'm gonna try to go up his leg. I'm going to pull out of my hand 3 daggers and just let them loose and put all my effort into it and try to catch this freaking tree whale right in its throat.
Are you throwing these through the legs of the troll?
I'm going to try to climb up it and just go jump off it and throw it over his shoulder.
So you're doing the run up you are climbing up like with your momentum and jumping and throwing
Yes.
these? All
Yes,
right,
I'm gonna
well,
jump and throw them, and I want to do the Marvel landing with
Yeah.
one arm down.
this is gonna, if you pull it off, it's gonna be cool. It's definitely a crazy move. Is it the clever move? I think it is. You're
It's
using
I don't know.
the getting a little bit of air on there, so I'm gonna give you all 3. All right, now
Thank you.
we're gonna talk about this, guys. So, all
Okay,
of you
let's
who
go.
have conditions, except for Skeeter because he had an asset that already canceled out that condition. You must spend 1 effort to cancel out the condition before you can spend any additional effort to gain dice. Okay? And
Great.
but it will cancel out the condition, so it won't come to it. So I would recommend, for those of you who have a condition, spend 1 effort to cancel out the condition, and then you can spend any additional effort you have up to the amount of clever, cool, crazy you had awarded. And let's rock and roll.
All right, so we're gonna roll that 6-sider. I'm gonna add the rest of the effort to it, besides the one we cancel our badness to,
So
right?
I
Great.
think we were up to, well, how much effort did you have before starting this?
4.
4? Okay, so you spend 1 to
One.
do and then the rest on clever, cool, crazy. Yep. So 4d6.
What?
Yeah.
0.
Yep. Because you get 1 for
4
free,
plus 2.
and then
Okay.
additional dice for each an additional die for each point of effort you spend, but you can't spend any more effort than your clever, cool, crazy. So, all right. And the good news is that the tree whale cannot match the amount of effort you guys have to spend. So he's gonna just have to make do. Oh, double zeros! Well, that didn't go well for him. You need me to roll for Gunga La Gunga there, Kent?
It's 2 effort.
2 effort. So 3D 6s. All right. And he explodes again. I told you I'm pretty good at these rolls. So that's going to be 9 added total. All right. This is, guys, this is going to look beautiful. All right. So who thinks they have the lowest amount? What do you
Me.
got for me, Ray?
It's always Brandon.
I rolled, I think it was 4 plus 2.
4 plus 2. Yep. 6.
So 6.
All right. Anyone lower than a 6 or equal to a 6? Okay. Who's the next lowest? Anyone?
I have a 10.
You have a 10. Anyone got lower than a 10? All right. Who thinks they
Nope.
got the next lowest? We got a 6, a 10. Who's next?
Then me at 11.
Lovely. You guys are lining up on my screen. Anyone? All right. Gunga or our kaleidoscope? Who's got the lower next one?
If you roll a 5, do you continue to roll that?
Did you what you rolled? How many dice? You rolled 4, right?
4.
So you had a 5 and what else?
5, a 5, a 4, and a 2.
So you actually don't need to roll anymore, but you got a total of
Okay.
14. You keep 5s and then the next tie, which was the 4.
Then I'm 14. Let's do this.
Well, what was the total then? 14 plus was total.
Plus my 3, and my 2, so that's 14. 20.
All right. And Gunga La Gunga, can you beat a 20? Sorry, Ken, I couldn't hear you.
Can you guys hear me?
Now I can.
Now we can.
Okay, 17.
All right. So we're gonna start with Raycole. Actually, you know what? Usually I would start with Raycole, but we're just because he was doing a combo with Gunga La Gunga, I'm gonna hold your move until Gunga La Gunga's turn. Okay. So we'll start with tell us how Callum's mighty smite, while very effective, wasn't quite enough to fully subdue the beast.
Well, that's fine. That wasn't his goal. His goal was to elevate his companions and give them the opportunity to shine, because he already did. He stopped the beast forward momentum. And so while he did stop it and swing his mighty mace, it was really just to set them up. So it exposed him. It basically was just to continue that distraction to give them the opportunity to strike.
Yep, and it totally did. Totally set him up. Skeeter, I want you to describe how you went all honey badger on this tree whale and managed to contribute to keeping it off of your companions, but didn't quite finish the job.
Well, being a whale, he's got a lot of blubber, so it's hard to get through. All that blubber that's sitting there, even though his teeth and his claws sink into the side, and you see him kind of sliding down, and you can definitely see the blood. As he's sliding down a little bit, it's just not having the effect that the honey badger is used to, because most creatures totally are scared to death of him. But this whale he's got the honey badger has a lot of thick skin and protection. Nothing compared to this whale. This whale has layers of blubber, and it's just not having the effect that the honey badger's used to.
Yeah, but I will say I still think it for the tree whale is used to being the apex predator, and I don't think it's encountered anything that has quite hurt it as bad as this until now. And I want Gunga Lagunga next to describe what it looks like when this massive amount of mud really just almost completely overwhelms this tree whale.
He just sees that, he sees the stream or the brook, and he just uses his druid power to manipulate the earth and causes major explosion of the dirt and the water, and he gets distracted because he thinks, oh no, a honey badger, right, Skeeter? And the thing's running up there, and he thinks it's running up a Skeeter, but then he sees Callum's glowing mace right at the whale, so he can now use that to aim as his target and just splash this big mud tsunami all over the whale just at the last minute.
And as you do, Rachel, I want you to describe how you help to harden the mud.
So as Gunga Lagunga was running up to what he thought ate Skeeter, he's he's trying to hold on, but at the last second he goes to let the spell off, and ice crystals form on the outside of his staff, and he tumbles off of the shoulders of Gunga Lagunga, kind of going end over end. He lets it off, and as the water that's coming down, he hits all of the water in the mud and creates pellets of frozen rocks and like dirt as it peppers the ground beneath them.
And last but not least, with a massive advantage over our beleaguered tree whale, I want you to tell us how Kaleidoscope overcame his initial cowardice to land the final blow on the tree whale.
He was hiding behind Callum. As Callum went forward, he was inspired by his just his truth and his light. And he watched everyone around him, and he's like, God damn, this is a freaking party. And he runs up the troll, does a backflip off the troll, and sees a spot where Skeeter opened up. It's all open for him, and he slides his blades right in to the opening within his side, and he lands down, and he's like, God damn, this group is beautiful. This might be something I can actually use to make some freaking money.
Yep.
Or something better, even. I don't know.
And you perfectly landed the superhero pose.
One foot down, one hit, like Black Widow. Yes, Black Widow.
Yes. Very Kaleidoscope. Very Black Widow. And with that, you all were able to defeat the tree whale. Investigation of the area makes it clear that this apex predator coming into the area had been driving the natives of the forest away in fear. And now that you have defeated it, the stronghold of the Myconians is safe. You have
Skeeta, new stew? What are we thinking here? New stew? No toe jam. Straight up stew.
I have earwax.
No, stop that. Put that to the side. Skeeta, tell us your program for this stew.
Skeeter just looks back with his big snarl and growl and bright red eyes as you see the blood all over his face and his claws and stuff.
Okay,
and
maybe not.
looks back, but you just see that there's this menacing look in his eyes as he you don't think you can quite communicate with him like you could before.
Oh, okay, Skeeter, let's hold him down there. Troll.
Skeeter, are you talking to Skeeter? That's him?
No, Troll, I don't know what that is. It used to be Skeeter. It doesn't look like it wants to make a stew.
I think it is. Look how white his teeth are. That's Skeeter.
Those teeth are white as shit, but grab him. Don't let him eat a snarling cobalt or... God dang, Callum, you're so brave. What's up with that?
I am just simply doing what he is literally kind of standing with his shield between the badger and everyone else, but trying not to be offensive, and he's like just doing as my lord bids. Skeeter.
Do it.
He puts
Hold him down.
He puts his mace down. Calm. Come back to the light. Come back to the light. We have food with turtle shells. I don't know what you people eat.
I scratched the back of his ears.
Skeeter, how do you respond to that?
Well, I mean, Skeeter will slowly transform back into the little halfling, and he has no idea what you guys are talking about a badger and stuff. He's just kind of like, huh? And the reason his friends used to call him Jules because he tends to attack the family jewels of just about any creature he attacks. Of course, with the whale, that wasn't going to quite work. So he is one of those that, and in case people don't know this, lions and stuff are scared to death of honey badgers because they tend to attack their genitals when the lions grab hold of them. And because honey badgers can turn around 180 degrees in their own skin and attack behind them. So he goes back in. He literally knows nothing about being a monk. He's such a basic initiate. He knows nothing. He's all claw and tooth when it comes to werebore, but he knows nothing about. He knows nothing that he's a werebadger. He knows nothing that he's a werebadger. He just thinks he's a monk.
Brilliant. Back up. Troll, he's looking for genitals to eat.
And by the way, Brandon, when you mentioned in the DC-20 chat about a monk turning into a werewolf, I had just created this character and I was like, oh my God, this is like way too uncanny. I had created it literally like that afternoon with Glenn. And when you mentioned it in chat, I was like,
it was great.
Oh, he's going to think I stole this from him.
Get out of my head.
You're a thief.
That's right. Well, I believe we had some people who did have a tight time that they needed to wrap up at the 2-hour mark. I see a beanie shaking there. So this will...
He's got nowhere to be.
He's got nowhere to be? So respecting that, we will start to wrap up the session for this edition of RPGs versus AD. You guys did great. I really enjoyed seeing your characters in action. And before we adjourn, I first of all, I'll ask, how did you guys like the system?
It's very cool.
It's really fun.
To learn.
Expected, yeah.
Yeah. It flows well and really gives a lot of player agency to describing things. I kind of dig that.
Yeah.
What I love about
Very
it,
good.
because it makes I love that you can make everything so cinematic, which is what we're always trying to get to originally in D&D and now even in DC-20 of like role playing during combat.
Yeah.
And making
Yeah.
that stuff cinematic rather than just going, I roll a 10, this happens, blah, 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 blah. We're trying to make so this would even be, if nothing else, used as like a small pregame exercise thing to get that muscle going all the time.
Yeah.
It's great.
Yeah, I think this system to me works very well for pickup games. For if you want to be more freeform and imaginative and more story focused than mechanic focused. But I tried to make it where I put up front. I mean, and we've heard about this from other games. Like, I wanted to be cinematic, or I wanted to, be tactical, or things like. So I said, all right, well, describe it, and you'll get points towards your success if you successfully describe those key features. So that's where the clever, cool, crazy comes in. And it is more freeform, and it relies a lot on our meta knowledge, right? Like, well, what can a wizard do? Well, a wizard can do what a wizard is known to do, right? But you can pull on all that previous knowledge and cultural knowledge to fill out the characters. And it's very useful also if you want to be more genre neutral and jump between genres, because it's truly genre agnostic.
Yeah, for real.
Yeah, if you want something crunchy, I still love my DC-20 for that. But if you want to go
Yeah.
light, this definitely has scratched the itch for me.
This was really cool. Sorry, Aegis.
Oh no, you're fine. Go ahead.
This was really cool just to jump into without having really any prior knowledge. I really wanted to try to do that without any prior knowledge, jump in and see how easy the game is to jump in and learn and play. And Glenn, this was great. It was super fun. It really gets that role playing knowledge, like Kent said, that role playing, I guess you could say muscle, or it's really fun to jump in and just play. So thanks again. It was a really cool system. I'd like to play it again.
We absolutely can arrange something, and now that you guys have had your live stream debut, we could maybe even arrange a few. And if you want, I'll give you the points freebie. But if you want this party to go on and have a different session using the same characters, save your sheets. We can do that. I'll ratchet down the experience point. Usually, if we do multiple, it actually adds like a 0.1 for the first time you use it, so that like if you were going over like a 10, or 5 or 10 session campaign, that's when you would start to level up mini campaign. And the extra effort, if you had not blown it all, would then also go to leveling up for things you didn't use, or new features you wanted to start building. So you get that. So there's a little bit of a metagame there. It's like, okay, I can use the effort I'm generating to do big things, or if I can pull it off by just being clever, cool, and crazy and not spending so much effort, I can level up more. So, for multi session games. But yeah, no, I'd love to have you guys do it again. And we might even have to do some other mashups. Avenue Studios has played Clever, Cool, Crazy actually at page 2 we played. And they're going to use the same system for their RPG versus AD session. I believe we have that one on the schedule, either June 7th or June 9th. I'll have to double check my note. But I want to thank you guys especially for playing for charity. It means a lot to me to have the community rising up to help support fighting Alzheimer's disease and related disorders. I will put this link on the team page, and people can still contribute for what you guys did here today in your honor. And to help support the cause, we'll have this live stream up and in the playlist. And we've got more sessions coming. It culminates in June 20th, but I can tell you the Pocket Dimension is going to do a late session with me playing Daggerheart. I think we picked the next Friday after that, which is the 27th. So the cause continues on throughout May and June. You can still give at the team page. If people want to do their own sessions to raise money, just join the team and announce it, and you can support the cause. I want to thank that. And obviously you guys who are watching this found my channel here, Glenn Finney. My day job is as a behavioral neurologist, but my passion is playing tabletop role-playing games like DC-20 over at the DC-20 West Marches. Been doing a little bit with Esper at Myriad Legends, playing just 5th edition D&D. And Esper actually is probably going to do a session with me for RPGs versus AD. And, of course, playing Clever, Cool, Crazy as I develop it. So thank you, help. Every time I play, I learn more. So thank you for that. Before I let you guys go, do you want to maybe give a shout out of where people watching, if they don't already know you, can find you and what your claim to fame is?
Well, thanks Aegis and Wargaszm for supporting us as a channel. We love it. I mean, thank you so much. And Kent and Brandon, fuck you, but everybody else is cool.
Well, I only do it because you have fan number 3.
I just say it. I've held it all in this whole time, but I did have to swear. But Aegis and Wargaszm.
Normally, when he swears, he loses a hit point, so he waited till it was all done.
I've held it all in, and fuck you two, but you two are cool. Fuck them too. Thanks for playing with us.
I've got to say, it's the difference in y'all's personality that make your show so good. I mean, because you're all vastly different, and it's almost so odd it works, if it makes sense. I mean, you're such a unique melting pot of personalities, and it's got to where between you guys, T and Tori, Claudia. I mean, we're not playing the game with T and Tori. Aegis is there and Claudio's there. There are certain people that we've just gotten used to being around, and I'd say there's now about 20, 25 people that are the mainstay DC-20 crew, and it's pretty.
We're happy
cool
we're a part of that because it's amazing. It's amazing. What a great community.
It is.
Yes.
And Tien Tori was supposed to play with us. She had a commitment that she couldn't quite make it, so we'll try and get her in. She's great.
Well, then I guess we got to do another game. We have to do another one with her. We have to.
There you go. And Claudio Wild, he played and supported us in
Bring him in.
a DC-20 devs session, which we're going to do another session. They have to go and retrieve the dead from the Shadows realm. After they blew up a hand grenade. But again, so the community's great. DC-20 representing. Tabletop Phoenix is in the chat, and he actually was part of our kickoff RPGs versus AD session using DC-20, playing in the DC-20 West Marches version of Barovia. So it's a great community, and both to play with and do things and to do it. And how about you, Aegis, Virium? Anything you want to do? Shout out?
The only shout out I want to give is to Bardic Aggravation. They're a great channel, great dynamic every time they're on screen. I love every video they've put out.
Absolutely.
Nice.
And
thank you, Aegis.
But
now,
Yep.
Wargaszm.
Thank you, Aegis.
Aegis and Wargaszm need to start their YouTube channel together.
Yeah.
It would just be the two of us making fun of each other for an hour.
That's what we do.
Most of YouTube.
That's great. It works. It's a formula that works. We love it.
All right.
What would we call it? Wargaszm?
Probably.
Yes. I'd start working on it, start brainstorming.
I suppose that's more creative than War Aegis, but
yeah.
Well,
You got 3 subs right here. You got 3 subs.
thank
Or-
you.
oh, look at
No, this
Malcolm
was
in
a
the Box.
blast.
Yeah, you can. What do you want to participate in? We'll hit us up. We'll figure it out.
So how far are you guys from 1K subs now?
50 more to go.
50.
Wow, that's actually you've done it really quickly then.
We're trying.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Guess. It's been fun. Yeah, and especially thanks to you guys and playing with you guys was so much fun. I had no idea what to expect, like how role play wise. But playing with all you guys, this is really fun.
Yeah.
It was really fun. So thank you so much.
Well, you can tell when you're playing with an experienced group of people. It changes the dynamic of the game. And it felt like we knew the characters so quickly, even though we didn't know the system. The system kind of built the characters, but yet the group had this really quirky dynamic to it.
Yeah.
which was unique.
And
To
yet
get us
still
all around a table at
harmlessly
some point.
D&D.
Are there any conventions coming up we can go to? Like not now, but maybe we can plan for that and
I
do
will
this
be at
face to face.
Cage 3 in Philadelphia, outskirts of Philadelphia. That's a great one, by the way.
When is that?
It is Martin Luther King weekend, 2026. So you got some time.
That's a long time to prepare for that.
Yeah,
So,
we
yeah.
can plan on that one.
Yeah, a lot of great YouTubers are there. Last year, we had Professor DM was there, Bob Worldbuilder was there, Baron DeRob, just a ton of people. Like I'm forgetting like half of them, but like great people. It was a great vibe. They honor and support a lot of the OG RPG developers and stuff. They do it as a charity to support basically people in retirement who helped develop the early days of the games we love, and didn't have a lot of benefits back in the day. So it's a great event.
The table together, and we can do it. Yeah, in 2026, we got time to plan and maybe do a couple of those things. Continue this on face to face. It'd be fun.
Oh,
it just feels like a good energy, but
absolutely.
Yeah.
Yep, I'm actually planning on running some Clever Cool Crazy there and some DC 20 there. So
Very cool.
Let's go.
Let's go.
Let's go.
Let's go.
Let's go.
All right. And
Spin that thing one more time, Brandon. Come on.
Yep. I do also got to give a shout out to Alan, the dungeon coach, as well as all the DC 20 devs. They've all been very supportive for RPGs versus AD, and really appreciate they were some of the early ones, as was especially also the Pocket Dimension and Tabletop Phoenix, who were our first team to play in 2024. So they're the OGs. So I got to always appreciate the ones who started us. And thank you once again. We're still getting contributions. So game on. I'll tell you what, guys, if we get up to 4,800, and we do another session, I'll put some extra fun stuff in it for the Bardic Aggravation and Friends crew. Maybe with TN.
Nice.
All right.
Super
guys.
cool that you brought the tree whale.
Yeah,
I know.
that was total. And for those who don't know it, that was totally off of a comment that Bardic Aggravation you guys had. Remember it? It
was a throwaway.
It was a throwaway line. I'm like, oh no, that's going to be made, and I did. I made it for DC 20, and we actually used it in the DC 20 devs one. But it was truly an orca version, and that's why the picture looked like a orca. But then I'm like, how could I not use the tree whale with the inspiration for the tree whale here in Clever Cool Crazy? So
brilliant.
That almost didn't make it in the video. It was like an afterthought to even put that in the video itself. I had 3 other choices, so that's funny.
The tree whale is
meant to be
legend.
Terrifying.
It is terrible.
Well, I always felt good that I was the first DC 20 Patreon that was mentioned in Bardic Aggravation's videos. So all because I would always give Brandon grief about his shirts.
Yes, exactly. And it was the one where he wasn't wearing
Keep
that.
riding him. Ride him hard. We don't really like Brandon either.
You know what the vibe I get off of the Bardic Aggravation views? It's you guys come across like some great brothers. That's the kind of vibe I get.
Yeah, that's what it feels like for sure. It's funny.
That's a great.
You should be able to mess with each other and just have a good time. And I mean, let's play. Let's have fun.
I'm just waiting for one of them to strangle one of the others.
Yeah, we just decided to go unscripted and see what happens, and I think that's just been the.
Yeah.
And we're in Detroit, so we're at my bar. Come on down. We'll all hang out at my bar, and we'll have a good time.
That's actually Rick's basement. That's not a back.
This is my basement. This is my bar. So come on down.
Nice.
If you're ever in Detroit, just fly out here. Just Yeah, we'll have a good time. For real.
Very cool. Have to keep that in mind, guys. All right. Well, we probably should wrap up the stream because we're already a half hour ish over what I promised you guys. But since you weren't in a hurry, I didn't want to cut you off. But thank you so much for playing. It was a blast.
Glenn. That was great.
First live stream for
Great.
Bardic
Good job,
Aggravation.
Glenn.
Oh, thank you. Very kind.
You did great.
Yeah.
All right. Well, in the
See you
words
guys.
of the dungeon coach, peace.
Peace. Think outside the box. Yeah. It was great to see you guys' faces. I love it.
Yeah,
I
it's
can-
great.
Yes. Thank you.
And we did not crash the stream this time. The new laptop worked.
I know, what a miracle. Pretty, yeah.
About
pretty
time.
unglitchy.
Yes. Step up.
Next up, I'll figure out how to get the pictures focus right. We didn't do too bad at the end. We got it.
This was good. Yeah, I was
You
surprised.
can't get everything at once. Come on.
Baby steps.
Baby step.
Exactly.
All right.
Baby steps. Truth.
Have a great day, everyone. And thank
Take
you
care,
for
everybody.
our
All right.
viewers,
Bye.
both live and who come up later and watch this. And please do continue to contribute to RPGs versus AD.
Thanks again. Bye.
Awesome. Thanks so much, guys. Really appreciate